Greetings, citizens of the world. It never seems to end with the Clintons, does it? After all the scandals and misbehaviors that have come to light about the family over the past year, one would have thought the vast reservoir of their misdeeds has been exhausted. Unfortunately, it seems far from being the case. New information has emerged showing that the Clinton Foundation was Hillary Clinton's personal get-rich-quick scheme, and that's obvious from how little actual charity work the organization did. In contrast with George W. Bush's efforts for people suffering from AIDS in Africa, a Clinton initiative started for a similar cause spent only $23 million of its $140 million in expenditures on the program. The rest was blown away on management, consulting fees, and travel expenses. According to their website, the Clinton Health Access Initiative, CHAI, was set up in 2002 to help Africans suffering from AIDS and HIV. The Clinton Foundation would describe CHAI as a separate entity from the foundation, and CHAI boasted a solution-oriented approach to solving these health-related problems. Unfortunately, their actions are inconsistent with their mission. The majority of the $140 million expenditures went to non-service-related areas. Only $23 million was spent on actually helping those suffering from the disease, while $72 million was spent on salaries and benefits, $16 million on meetings and training, $8 million in consulting fees, and $7.5 million in travel. In other words, only 16% of all funding actually went to the cause it was intended to support. It's a wonder how the contributors to this foundation feel knowing that most of their money went into the pockets of Clinton and her friends, rather than to the Africans it was meant for. When asked about these results, CHAI had no response to these findings. This has raised justified concerns of Clinton's other philanthropic ventures. Peter Schweizer, one expert in the area and author of the 2015 hit book, Clinton Cash, The Untold Story of How and Why Foreign Governments and Businesses Helped Make Bill and Hillary Rich, said as little as 6% of all donations went to the charitable causes they were meant to help. The problem is, when you start drilling down on what, precisely, those charitable activities are, and what they have to show for it, it gets really, really fuzzy and hazy, Schweizer said. The Clinton Foundation will say, "We assisted or facilitated in 100,000 kids getting immunizations." Well, okay, what does that mean? And they don't really tell you. They don't really explain to you how it works. The author continued, saying, "The number is absolutely correct, that 6% goes to other charities. The other 94% is in this stew of marketing, and management, and travel expenses, and sort all these obscure things, that it's really hard to dissect what is the end result of that 94% being spent. How on earth can a charitable foundation get away with such a ridiculous mismanagement of funding? The fraudulent nature of this organization should have been revealed a long time ago." This is in stark contrast to former President George W. Bush's own African AIDS program, which has, despite the president's low approval rating, still earned the applause and approval of many people on both sides of the political aisle. Among other things, the level of bipartisan support for this program is a refreshing change in Washington's increasingly polarized atmosphere.